He is officially the father of rock and roll who gave the genre its anthem. But Bill Haley was arguably the unlikeliest rock star in history, a blind, middle-aged cowboy yodeler who looked more like an accountant than a rebel, and who ended his career not in Memphis or London, but as a Spanish-speaking superstar in Mexico. Bill Haley's most famous physical trait was the little curl of hair plastered to his forehead. While it became a fashion statement, it was actually a functional choice. Haley was blind in his left eye due to a botched surgery in his childhood. His eye looked different and often wandered, making him extremely self-conscious. He styled the curl over his eye to draw people's attention to his hair rather than his face. Before he was rocking around the clock, Haley was a legitimate country and western musician. His original band was called Bill Haley and the Saddlemen, and they wore cowboy hats and boots. In the 1940s, he was voted one of the best yodelers in America, performing under the name Silver Yodeling Bill Haley. It was only when they noticed that high schoolers were reacting to faster R&B tempos that they traded the cowboy hats for plaid jackets and changed their name to the Comets. The song that launched the rock and roll era was actually a failure when it was first released in 1954. It was released as a B-side and sold poorly. It wasn't until a year later, in 1955, that the song was used in the opening credits of the movie about teenage delinquency, Blackboard Jungle. The song caused teenagers in theaters to dance in the aisles and riot, turning the dead song into a #1 hit a year after its release. By the early 1960s, Bill Haley's popularity in the US and UK had plummeted because he looked old compared to the younger, sexier stars like Elvis and the Beatles. However, Haley found a bizarre second life in Mexico. He moved there, learned Spanish, and reinvented himself. He recorded a Spanish version of the twist, the Florida Twist, which became the best-selling single in Mexican history at the time. To this day, he is considered a cultural icon in Mexico. The guitar solo on Rock Around the Clock is one of the most famous in history. It was not played by Haley, but by a session musician named Danny Cedrone. Cedrone was paid only $21 for the session. Tragically, just weeks after recording the solo, and before the song became a hit, Cedrone fell down a flight of stairs and died of a broken neck. He never knew that he had played the solo that would define rock and roll guitar for decades.